We all know that being physically active is good for our general health, but until recently it wasn't clear just how beneficial it might be in supporting those people with cancer. More and more research is being published all the time, which confirms that our bodies can fight disease and maintain health much more easily when we keep ourselves fit and active. To become physically active, people with cancer are usually advised to build up to taking around 30 minutes of moderate activity 5 times a week. In studies which have looked at people with a range of different cancers, this level of physical activity has been shown to produce anything from 30 to 50% increase in survival figures. That's a bigger effect than some established cancer treatments have, with far fewer side effects. If we could bottle it, physical activity would be prescribed to everyone with cancer on a daily basis, and it would be a bestseller. However, cancer treatments can have many long-lasting side effects, including fatigue, bone thinning, weight gain, insomnia, depression, all of which can make it a bit more difficult to get going and keep yourself physically active. But the good news is that once you get started, regular, moderate physical activity has been shown to reduce the severity of all those problems. And it can also reduce other side effects, such as digestive problems, hot flushes, sexual dysfunction, and anxiety. And we also know that the opposite is true. Being inactive is definitely bad for you. Many research studies have looked at the health problems seen in people who sit around too long, don't move around quite enough. Inactivity is linked with increased rates of many diseases, including cancer, depression, and heart disease. They've also shown that people who are less active lose bone and muscle mass, get unfit, age more quickly than people who are more active. One study, which followed more than 1,000 men with a range of different cancers, showed that the men who were most active were twice as likely to be alive 20 years later than the men who were least active.
By doing more exercise, even when I don't feel like it, say for example I've got a headache and I feel exhausted, fatigued especially, which is quite a common effect of the medication that we have. If I go out and do some walking and do exercise, it eases the feelings of tension, headaches. It clears my head.
So, what kind of exercise should you do? Well, just as we encourage people to eat a wide variety of foods to help maximize their health, it's probably best if you can do a range of different types of physical activity, all of which bring their own different health benefits. Aerobic or cardiovascular activities like running, jogging, swimming, cycling, even going up and down stairs or doing the housework or gardening can build heart fitness, keep you to a healthy weight, and improve cancer survival. Activities that help you build your muscle strength, like weight training, Pilates, yoga, even carrying shopping, can help with bone strength and pain prevention. Activities like stretching exercises, yoga, tai chi, even dancing, improve flexibility and coordination, can help with joint pain and balance problems, which can both be caused by or worsened by cancer treatments. What you choose really depends on what you like to do, what's right in your particular situation. Because the research has shown that although many types of physical activity can be good for you, exercise that you enjoy has the most benefits. Always start a new physical activity gradually, building up slowly, listening to how your body responds, and if in any doubt, check with a professional first to make sure that the activity you've chosen is safe, suitable for you. As you may also benefit from other kinds of exercises I've described. And remember that although you're aiming eventually for 30 minutes a day, this can be done in much smaller chunks. A 10-minute walk around the block with the dog, combined with then a short stretching exercise or a bit of gardening later on, can all quickly add up. Some people use a pedometer, which measures the number of steps you take, to keep a check on their physical activity levels. You can get these cheaply in most good chemists or sports shops, or sometimes get them free from your local cancer information centre. It's also important to work out what moderate intensity activity means for you right now, so you learn not to overdo it. don't compare yourself to what you did before your diagnosis or to what friends are doing. Just be prepared to do what you can and know that it'll change over time. Some days you'll be able to do more and other days perhaps less. If you're experiencing cancer-related fatigue, you'll need to manage your energy levels really carefully so that you don't overdo things and end up more fatigued than when you started. And if you're in the middle of cancer treatment, it's still usually safe and actually advisable to exercise, but you may find that what and how much you do will vary depending on the treatment you're having and your day-to-day energy levels. And hopefully, if you keep at it regularly, you'll find that actually you're able to do more and more over time. In many areas, you can now be referred or refer yourself to sessions run by fitness professionals who've been specifically trained to provide advice and support people with a diagnosis of cancer. They can work with you on a personalised programme to help you build up your activity levels, whatever your experience or previous fitness. Ask your cancer nurse or information centre or your GP if there's a scheme running in your area.
After my treatment finished and the fatigue kicked in, I actually stopped doing my exercise because I really couldn't do anything at all, let alone anything physical. Once I actually managed to control the fatigue and control my energy and what I was doing with it, I decided to revisit exercise. And initially I went back to the gym and literally did it in a whole session what I would have done as a warm-up before. So it took me 45 minutes to do what I would have done in 5 minutes before. I did that over a period of time and built it up. And I would say to anybody that you don't need to go to the gym and do lots. It's just about getting there and just doing a little bit and building on that and doing what's right for you at that time.
While being physically active has many advantages, after a cancer diagnosis, your body may have changed, and it's important to look after yourself. Don't exercise if you have an infection, or if you have pain which is new or getting worse, or if you feel unwell in yourself. Most potential problems can be avoided if you're sensible and avoid doing anything that just doesn't feel right for you. If you have problems with your bones, for example if you're at risk of osteoporosis or have cancer in your bones, then avoid high-impact activities or contact sports, which might risk a fracture. If you've had chemotherapy which has affected the nerves in your legs, you may need to watch your balance. And if your blood counts are low, or if you have swollen legs or arms from lymphedema, get some specialist advice about the kinds of activity that'll be suitable for you. But the bottom line is this: it's generally safer and better for you to be active rather than not. So finally, I'd really like to just encourage you, especially if you're not the kind of person who's normally very active, to experiment with different ways of keeping your body on the move. Make sure you find ways of making it fun and sustainable, maybe going with a friend or being outdoors in nature if that's what you like. Maybe incorporating music so it lifts your spirits, and thinking where and how it might fit into your daily routine. And again, don't let it become a stress or a worry. Remember, any physical activity is better than none. And when you find what's right for you, as well as noticing the obvious health benefits, you'll find that the more often you do it, the more you'll start enjoying physical activity for its own sake. And that's really what it's all about: living well with and beyond cancer.